Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese. And it is going to be a fun little news Wednesday. Listen, I went on my local rant on Monday. Had some interesting drama that was attached to it. Everyone thought that that MMA fighter wanted to fight me and all that stuff. It's what was not the case. Did not turn out to be me. People are pissing George off, but it's not me. I mean, there's nobody happy with what I'm saying. And listen, everybody out there, I'm starting this off this way. A lot of you that have been listening to me for a very long time. A lot of the people that I spoke, like that have been listening to me for a long time. You guys aren't going to be happy with me today because I'm going. My job is to analyze what the hell is taking place, and I think I have to look at what's going on, and I have to report this stuff very accurately to you. And some of the stuff that I'm going to say to you, trust me, I don't want to be saying at this point. Some of the stuff that I'm going to be saying today, I really, 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 really wish that I was not agreeing with Cenk Uygur. If you don't know who that guy is, he's that far left fucking guy from the Young Turks. I didn't think I would be, in a spot where I'm looking at these guys and I'm looking at these liberals and they're arguing, and the points they're making are very, very, very valid against Trump. And I got to tell you something. This time around, I'm going to be asking because, Carrie Prejean Bowler, however the fuck you want to say her last name, she made a statement that said Maga is straight up dead. And everyone's wondering whether BB's dead. We're gonna check that out as well. But is Maga dead? And did Maga get swallowed by the swamp? Because it kind of feels like it. And the Mike's Right is going to be on that. And listen, if you disagree with me, I hope you disagree with me. I hope it's a good disagreement. I hope you guys can let me know in the chat after you figure the hell out of my like button. And always, I'll have the donations later. If you could donate to the show, that'd be great. But we have a lot on the show. Let me go through the rundown really quick. Obviously, is Maga dead, right? Trump appoints the fraud czar. Very interesting language out of Trump today, man. I wish, maybe I'm starting to look at him like I looked at Biden a little bit harder because I kind of feel like if I was mad at some of this stuff with Biden, I have to be mad at it with Trump. But he's saying things that's really bothering me. I got to be honest with you guys. We obviously have Joe Kent. We have BB. Is BB dead? If things are up in the air, you have a new prime minister taking place. Very interesting. I have Aaron Judge. I'm going to say it right now, right here. Aaron Judge is the most overrated baseball player that I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't care. I'm going to be ripping into Aaron Judge because I'm sick and tired of watching him strike out. Oh, you have to do the snap. Yeah, bullshit. Shut up. We have Afro Man. We have Rand Paul versus Markwayne Mullin. And we have a donation. Obviously, somebody donated to the show. You guys are phenomenal. So what's up, everybody? Everybody in the chat, Let's get the show started. The mic's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, let me ask you guys something straight off the bat right now. What happens when the movement that was supposed to save the country starts looking exactly like the thing that we were fighting against the entire time? What happens when the guy that you went to bat for, you went to war for politically, the guy you defended at family dinners, online, in public, the guy you said, no, this time it's going to be different. That guy that turns around and gives you more of the same. Because that, if you were going to look at it honestly, is where we're at right now. And nobody wants to say it out loud. Everyone's whispering it. Everybody's thinking it. But nobody wants to be the one to pull the pin and toss a grenade into the room and say, is MAGA dead? I like Carrie Prejean for saying it. Or worse, did it get swallowed by the exact swamp that it promised to drain? Guys, I fought for this man. A lot of you guys did. We didn't just vote. We believed in him. We believed in the idea that somebody was finally going to walk into Washington and flip the damn table over. We were told that the wars would stop, that America would come first, that the economy would stabilize, that the corruption would be exposed. That wasn't the media saying it. That wasn't the Democrats saying it. That was him. Those were the promises. So let's do something crazy. Let's compare. Because when Joe Biden was in office, I remember being pissed off about a few things. I was pissed off about new wars and the constant threat of them, right? I was pissed off about energy prices going through the roof. I was pissed off about inflation squeezing the life out of people. I was pissed off that it felt like we were serving the rest of the world before we served America. Does that sound familiar? Because here's the uncomfortable question. What actually changed, everyone? Are we at peace? No. Are you paying less at the pump? No, you did for a short time. Because I don't know about you, but I didn't vote for $100 half tanks of diesel. I just did that today. Is inflation magically gone? Or are people still juggling bills, cutting corners, and wondering how the hell the groceries are going to get paid for this week? And that America First thing, does it feel like America is first? Honestly, think about it. Or does it feel like the same old global chess game, just with a different guy moving the pieces? And this is the part that should scare the hell out of people. Not the left, not the right, everybody. Because the people who came back this time, the ones who said, nah, trust the process, we can make a difference with our votes. They didn't just vote. They regained faith. They said, this time he's going to clean house. This time he knows who the bad actors are. This time the system doesn't stand a chance. And what did we get with that renewed faith? We got the same fucking machine, just louder, just more aggressive, just flashier. Like slapping a new engine in a car with a blown transmission. Yeah, it sounds good and it looks powerful, but it's not going anywhere different, is it? You can dress it up however you want, guys. You call it strategy, you can call it patience, you can call it 4D chess. But regular people don't live in chess matches. They live in reality. And in reality, bills are up. Tensions are up. Uncertainty is up. And the faith that we all had, that faith is hanging on by a thread. And here's the part that nobody wants to touch. What happens if this fails? Not politically, I mean psychologically. Because if a guy like Donald Trump, a guy who built his entire movement on breaking the system, if he can't do it, then what does that tell people? It tells them that the system doesn't just resist change, it absorbs it, it eats it, and it turns rebels into participants, outsiders into insiders, and hope into just another campaign slogan. And if that is true, then yeah, we got a real problem. Because now you're not just dealing with frustration. You're dealing with something way worse. A population that stops believing anything can actually change ever. And once that happens, you don't get stronger citizens. You get checked out ones. You get people who stop caring, stop voting, stop engaging, and that's what they want. Or you get people so fed up, they swing to extremes just to feel something different. That's how the system breaks. Not all at once, but slowly, when people lose faith that anything they do matters. And that's why this hits me so hard, because this wasn't supposed to be just another presidency. This wasn't supposed to be the one this was supposed to be the one that proved the system could be challenged. The one that showed promises weren't just words. The one that gave people a reason to believe again. But right now at this moment, doesn't feel like that. It feels more of the same, just with a different tone. And maybe that's the biggest disappointment of all. I feel like a Mets fan. It's not anger. It's not even betrayal at this point. Just the quiet realization creeping in that maybe nothing really changes. And if that's true, then November isn't just an election. It's a message. And it might be a message that says, we gave you another shot and you gave us the same exact result. And if that happens, which is going to happen, you guys aren't just going to be mad. You're going to be done. And Trump's presidency come November is going to be over. And the people that fought so hard against Democrats and the people that fought so hard for Trump possibly fought their hardest to give the Democrats exactly what they needed to win. The Democrats did it to us with Biden, and we're doing it right back to them. And it honestly pisses me off. And it's something that I will never, ever, ever defend. I don't care how much I supported that man. But when we get destroyed in November, which is coming, and his presidency is over, I fought for 2 years of do nothing but the same. That's the Mike's right. Hope you listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, listen again, I don't want to come off angry. I don't like coming off angry. I don't like this stuff at all. I'm getting into the Facebook chat. Oh, by the way, I am not banned on Facebook. I was. It's interesting. When I put that up, I guarantee you the algorithms took a shit. They were like, nope. We are not letting you talk about this. Absolutely not yesterday. But when I got off, I had 3 restrictions. I couldn't do anything. I appealed them. And literally, I've never had this happen in my life. The second I appealed it, it said we were wrong. The second. Now, they didn't take me off of live or anything like that. They didn't say I couldn't post. It was I couldn't comment. I couldn't accept new people. And I don't know, I couldn't run ads or something like that. But I don't pay these guys anyway. Like I have never paid Facebook, TikTok, or any of these for any views whatsoever. Everything I do is all from the grace of you guys. Let me get into some chats early and often. I'm going to actually try to set up the super chat features because we're getting a lot of chats and I really love it. But let's check this out. The boat. Let's fucking go. Yankee 68. Yankee 68 said, Mike, you jumping off the Trump train already? Please. It's disappointing. And listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you, Yankee. I don't feel like I jumped off the train. I feel like I'm still on the damn train, but the conductor jumped the fuck off. I really do. I feel like we're on the train. We're going in the direction that we wanted to go. It's just the guy that told us we were going somewhere, he's not there anymore. So I don't know where this train's going now. But Carrie Prejean Bowler, she said it pretty perfectly on Piers Morgan. Let me kick it over to her and let her start this off.
Supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And Maga let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
Now, I got to ask you, I still see a lot of people that are vehemently defending him, but, once again, what I do is I read politics, and I try to read the tea leaves, and I try to read the people, and I try to see what people are saying and what they're doing, what the overall sentiment is. And there was something that came out that Donald Trump still has 100% support, right? Where was that? Trump 100% support. Here it is. Ready? Trump earns 100% approval from MAGA Republicans amid Iran strikes. And at the bottom it says, while broader polls show Trump facing disapproval on issues like immigration and Iran overall, his core base has grown slightly to 30%. So it says his base was, and a survey shows 100% of self-identified MAGA Republicans approve of Trump, even as the U.S.-Israeli strikes under Operation Epic Fury. Now, listen. Do I believe he's still a better president than all of them? Yes, I do. I really do. I do. Again, I think there's so many good things that are happening. But I do think right now, all of those good things are disappearing. Gas prices being down were a great thing. I love that the border's closed. That alone is going to put him in greatest president ever status, period. But right now, what you're seeing is you are seeing a total abandonment of who he is and what he said he was coming into this. And look, when he got elected, what was the first thing that I said to you guys? Listen, guys, calm down. These Republicans are not going to let him do anything. It's the first thing I said to all of you. He's not going to be able to do shit because these Republicans suck. And that has held true, has it not? It has 100% been true. And I was with him for a while doing the things overseas. I was even with him when he stole Maduro. I loved it. Great. We got all their oil. We got 100 million barrels or whatever the hell it is out of there. It's coming to a refinery in Houston. I don't care. Great. But now we're starting another regime change war. We're bragging about killing people. And it's not just bragging about killing people. We're bragging about killing leaders and then their leaders and their leaders' leaders. And he's like, I don't even know who I'm talking to anymore. And you have Lindsey Graham and these people that are on literally frothing, turning red, talking about smiling, loving, killing people. And, it's not those things that piss me off. It's the things that they are going to bring us. They are going to bring us a Democrat majority in the House, and they are going to bring us a Democrat majority in the Senate. And even if it's not a majority, it's going to be a 50-50 where he's not going to be able to do anything. And then you know what that happens? If they get both the House and the Senate and they get it in big enough numbers, do you think they're not impeaching his ass? Which me, if I was a strategist, I would just leave him in office and let him hang himself. I wouldn't impeach him because that's going to give the Republicans fodder, and it's another thing that's going to swing the pedestal back and forth. It's a stupid move on their part, but that's what they're going to be doing. And then for the next 2 years, we're going to be dealing with impeachment. We're going to be dealing with hearings. We're going to be dealing with all the same shit that we saw how many years ago. I don't know, guys. It's something that's I feel like, the saddest part about this is when I talk to friends of mine that say I'm done with Trump. When I talk to friends of mine that say, I really thought this time was going to be different. It's not. It hurts my local movements. It hurts every movement that we have going. It hurts MAGA. It hurts America First. You have Republican groups in New Jersey trying to formulate an America First strategy, and America First is getting blown the fuck up. Why are you guys going along with this? And the truth of the matter is, you have people like this Joe Kent guy. So Joe Kent, he goes ahead and posts this, right? He posted on X. Let's see. Let's actually get to his X. He said, after much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it's clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Now, Republicans, you are going to have a serious problem on your hands because you are going to have Republicans in your primary, this upcoming primary, that are going to be 100% vehemently anti-Israel. It's coming. This is the start of this. So what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? Because if you have a big enough group of people, you are going to have somebody that comes out strong against completely being America only. And America first means cutting Israel off. And Israel right now is a negative, whether you're Republican, whether you're independent, or if you're Democrat. Israel is a net negative. So if you have that, and then you have the Republicans that are going to gain a lot of power and a lot of traction off that, how are you going to deal with this? Because what that's going to do is it's going to divide up the Republicans, and the Democrats are going to win even more. Because I don't give a shit what anybody says. The Democrats stay together. The Democrats are like the Orthodox Jews in Lakewood, but only they vote Republican. Go figure that one out. But you have to understand why I'm so upset over this. I'm not jumping off MAGA. I think MAGA jumped off me. I feel kind of like what Bill Maher's been saying all this time. Like, I'm still a liberal, dude. It's just you guys went crazy. I'm still all for what Trump said he was going to do. And everybody can make a claim, well, oh, he told me that he would never let Iran get nuclear weapons. In 2016, I thought the bombs did that. That strike obviously didn't do what it was planned to do. You know, so I'm just sick and tired of everybody getting lied to me. I'm sick and tired of all of it. Mama Duke says MAGA still loves Trump. Let's see. It's Johnny says MAGA didn't die. Okay. Jay Callis says, I guess you didn't see the CNN poll that put MAGA at 100% approval and the Democrats at 61% minus. What do you think that means, Jay Calda? I saw this bullshit. Or are we honestly believing CNN now? Is this what you're going to sit there and tell me? Dad, stop it. You are now telling me that I should believe a CNN poll. Oh, why? Because all of a sudden it's favorable to Donald Trump? Oh, believe it. You have to believe it. CNN said it. I mean, look, it's their fucking poll. Yeah, because they're right all of a sudden. Come on, man. Listen, I love every one of you guys. I love you guys. But this is not the time to start pushing CNN polls. You're only going to embolden his bullshit. I got news for you. I'm telling you, Caltrop, you mark it down right now. I'm doing 8:24 p.m. on 3/18. I'm writing it the fuck down. The Democrats will take the House and the Senate. You mark it down right now. If he does not adjust course, and I'm talking immediately, you better figure out an exit strategy out of Iran. Because every day this goes on, and when gas prices hit $4.50 and they stay that way for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, that third month is going to turn everything into inflation. We just watched this with Biden. And now what's going to happen? He is going to be going into an inflation explosion as people are getting ready to vote. Do you think that's favorable to him? Do you guys forget how he won big, but he didn't win that big? They still manufactured, 70-something million votes, 76 million votes for Kamala Harris? Or 71 million? They got $71 million for that dunce. You don't think Gavin Newsom's going to come in? I'm being serious with you guys. As stupid and as horrible as he is, he can't get more than her? He will. And who's going to motivate behind who next? Who's going to be set? What Republican is J.D. Vance going to want to step in this? Because everything bad he's going to be associated with now. Your biggest contenders, your biggest candidates, your biggest names in that party are in this administration. Can we see this going forward, guys? See it going forward on what we're looking at. We're looking at an absolute catastrophe for Trump and the Republicans, especially if you have $5 diesel for the next 2 months. And I just paid $5.20. That is almost at the height of where it was with Biden. Biden was over $6. But that went from $3.70. I was plowing snow at $3.70 just 2 weeks ago. It's going to be up almost $2 in 3 weeks. It stays there. We have real problems. He has real problems. This country has real problems. And I'm sorry, I know everyone's not going to be happy with it, but it pisses me off watching this happen. I know what Mike means about the gas prices are nuts. Kill or be killed. I don't buy that Iran is a threat. I still don't buy it. I never will buy it. I think they're lying. If they were that big of a threat, they wouldn't have. We can't brag that we completely obliterated them faster than anybody else in the world, but they were this big, gigantic threat. Please help me understand how this stuff makes sense. They're this, and then tell me how it makes sense that the second they would have got a nuclear weapon, they would have used it, which would have ensured that everybody in the world killed them all. How does that make any sense? That doesn't. Then how does it make sense that we bombed them and completely obliterated their nuclear capacity just 4 months ago or 5 months ago, but now we're using the same exact excuse to go to war with them now? Well, we'll never let them get nuclear weapons. All right, well, now they never will. Okay, great. Well, who's next? Do you think they're going to stop? Do you think the people that have these ambitions are just going to stop because Iran's out of the game? No, we're going to be following this thing in circles for years and years and years. It's never going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. But let's get to a couple Trump videos, shall we? Because I think I've been ranting for long enough. Let's get some Facebook chats. Let's see. Jimmy Kidd says, give me a break, Maga is dead. Trump supporters. Okay, ready? Let's see. Trump supporters all of a sudden pretend Iran isn't a threat to America. He's doing everything he promised he'd do. And you guys trusted him until now with Iran. You guys now don't trust him. He's been right at every turn, but now you want to jump. What? He has not been right at every turn. That is Jimmy King. That is an incorrect statement. They were very wrong with Epstein's list. This is where this incompetence started. He has been very wrong about some of his picks. His picks are now jumping ship. Kristi Noem was not a great prick. I keep saying prick. You have this what's his name? Joe Kent. Joe Kent's a highly decorated war hero that Trump is now bad-mouthing. He has sadly not been correct at every turn. Has he been overall correct? Yes. But I'm sorry if you're going to sit there and tell me, or if you're going to sit there and tell me that I have to trust another Middle East war after he said he would never get into another war. Yeah, I mean, you could say, oh, he said that he would never let Iran get another nuclear weapon. Yeah, but he also said he's the guy of peace. He also said no new wars. He ran on this. He campaigned on this. And let's just take aside to everything else. Did he do anything for America yet besides stuff overseas? Honestly, name something besides the big, beautiful, stupid bill that nobody really even knows what's in, and you're going to get a little bit more money back in your taxes, which is awesome. What difference is that going to make in your lives? It's not. So you guys can sit there and say, oh, as a MAGA supporter, I'm this or I'm that. I'm going to tell you something. I look at it as a person that doesn't want to live under talking about trans boys and girls in schools, LGBT everything all day, every day. I don't want, that's not the type of government I want to go back to. I don't want to go back to open borders. Is this what we want? This isn't just about trusting Trump. You know who else I trust? I trust an ignorant ass population to go ignorant as fuck. And I trust a checked out population to check out. And I trust an unmotivated population to be completely unmotivated for an election. And then I trust that unmotivation is going to reflect on all of the local races. And then what happens is you have the powerful people that I'm fighting against every single day get way more power because of it. Because the only way you take the power from the people is when you suck the life out of them and make them think they have no power because of shit like this. I saw an interview, Mariah says, I saw an interview stating Iran had enough material to make 11 bombs, then backtracked and said, but they can't reach the U.S. If they have bombs, they definitely can attack us. Everybody, like, this is what we're suggesting. We made nuclear technology 60 years ago, and they're not even with us yet. They haven't caught up to us 50, 60 years ago, and I'm supposed to be so scared. Put the fear porn down, everybody. Go watch a horror movie if you want to be scared. You know, everybody's scared for me about what I'm doing in my own local town. I'm not. I don't bask in fear. Yeah, let's get to some YouTube chats before I go on. Totally random. Let's see what I love totally random. Totally random. Love you, buddy. Oh, dude, love it. New name. Hey, Laura K. Hey, Mike. Happy Wednesday. What is happening now? Are we crumbling? Let's hear your take on it. Are we crumbling? You know, I think America's going to be fine. I think I think what's crumbling is the essence of what I said in my Mike's Right. There's hope that's involved in politics. Okay, what politicians sell is hope. It's like Obama, hope and change. But you're selling belief. You're selling, it's something I tell young salesmen, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. You want to sell the sizzle, not the steak. And the sizzle is the hope. The sizzle is the belief. The sizzle is the yes, this time's going to be different, because when you build up that passion and you build up that energy, that's how you win big major elections. How you lose in 8 years or 4 years is when you get that build up and you overpromise and you way under deliver. And right now, you have a situation where Donald Trump and his team 1,000% overpromised. And only the hardest people that are for him, that are going to defend him no matter what they do, don't realize that he really overpromised on a lot of things. Again, this is a diehard MAGA guy telling you the fucking truth about this. He overpromised and he's under-delivering right now on his promises. The thing that made him different, the thing that made him great in 2016 is he came in and almost every one of the promises he made, he checked them off, besides fully constructing the border wall. But they fought him on that, and he got like 400 and something miles done. But this is the part that everyone's missing this time around. He is not honoring the same things. He made one big campaign promise. He completely shut down the border. But that's not going to carry him into the next election. You totally random. So you certainly have the right to be pissed off. I'm pissed off, and many other people are too. That's the point. I am a reflection of the people's voice. And when I hear very strong MAGA friends of mine say, dude, this is fucked. Like, this is what I spent my time for. And not just big MAGA friends, right? We have American Pegasus, my good buddy Ryan Lawrence, who comes on the show a lot. You have a big group of independent, you had a big group of Libertarian Party members really believed that they were going to have a libertarian seat at the table. They really thought that they were going to get a non-interventionist warmonger. I know this for a fact because he came and spoke to the Libertarian Convention, and I was there watching it. And I can tell you the speech that he gave to them made them believe that he was not going to be an interventionist in any more foreign wars, that he was not a shill for Israel. These are things that he stated at that speech. These are things that he said to court libertarians. Do you think you're going to get any piece of the libertarian vote, the next Republican coming around? He needed that to beat Kamala. That was like 2 percentage points, right? This is when I'm talking to you guys, is I want you to understand how 1% here, 0.5% here, 2% here ruin your elections. When you're dealing with 51-49 margins, 1% of this, 2% of that, 3% of that, 0.5% here, 0.25% there, you lost. You lost. That's how this shit works. So yeah, man, I'm kind of not thrilled about it. Massey is more American first. I love these new names, man. Awesome, dude. Alexanica, I don't know. I can't say that word. Alexanica says Massey is more America first than Trump. You know, the God's honest truth about Massey is Massey's doing some very interesting things because I think he's a little bit on tilt, and I think he's like a wife scorn. But he is fighting harder for the principles that Donald Trump fought for on his way in. Totally Random says the new talking point is Trump is taking out Iran since the 1980s. Well, yes, but that is their new talking point because they're trying to see this is what I'm talking about. They know deep down that Iran is killing them. They know it. They know this war isn't popular. They know it's crushing their base. They know internal polling is showing that everybody is against this Iran thing. But what are they trying to do? They tried going back and saying, hey, man, I said I wasn't going to allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon back in 2016. Then that didn't work. So now they're going further back and saying Trump has been against Iran since the 1980s. And that is true. He has been talking bad about Iran for the 1980s. You know, the craziest thing is back then, and when we went to war, and when we had the Persian Gulf War, and then we had the next one with the George Bush in Iraq, he was the one back in the day that used to say nonstop how we shouldn't be there. Does everybody remember this? 2004, 2005, 2008, under Obama, yelling about the birth certificates. We shouldn't be here, shouldn't be here, shouldn't be here. This is what's going to happen, and we shouldn't get involved in the war in the Middle East. We shouldn't get involved in the war in the Middle East. And I would hope that we've learned something. And okay, militarily, I will give them this credit. We don't seem to be fighting the punk ass way that they made our warriors fight when we had Obama and people like that. We do seem like we are attacking, and we're attacking hard. We're Cobra Kai-ing it. You know, strike first, strike fast, or strike hard, no mercy. Cool. But eventually it's going to take boots on the ground at the top of the government. And nobody is talking about that, not even Trump. But let's get to some videos because I've been doing way too much talking. But listen, I've been neglecting the chat, so I really wanted to get to the chat. Past the SAVE Act. Yeah, we're going to get to the SAVE Act, the whole 9 yards. Oh, man, a lot of Six Design says Trump has consistently lied to us about money for Americans who would much rather support other countries. That's unfortunately, it's the truth. Coach Patterson, as the great philosopher Tupac said, we got money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. You know, you give fodder to the left, Coach Patterson, when you approach the $1 trillion mark for killing people, and they're sitting there saying, well, we're spent how many trillions on killing people? Why can't we heal people for that trillion? You definitely give them very good logical arguments. And I don't like when we feed logical arguments to them on a silver platter. Let me play a couple of Trumps. Ready? This is him on the fraud czar. And you know, it's interesting because like I feel like I'm being lied to here, and I'm going to explain. This is the whole aura of the show tonight was because of this interview.
Stated that this type of fraud, the corruption, is the type of thing that can shred the fabric of a nation. Why do you suppose then that leaders in recent memory haven't looked at the systemic amount of fraud
because
that's
they're
taking
crooked.
place? And
because they're crooked. They make money. They gain power. They use it for power. Like with the Somalians, they vote in a block, 100%. They make a deal with the Somalians. They all vote because they're on a gravy train. It's coming. It's money first, power second. A lot of people say power first. No, it's money first, power second. Do you ever see where like Mercedes? People come over from Somalia. They have no money, and now they're buying Mercedes-Benz cars. Okay, it's more cash goes out of the Minnesota airport than any other place in the world or so. We're going to find it. And Minnesota is really bad. The governor's corrupt. The attorney general is totally corrupt. Just like the New York State attorney general, Letitia James. She's a highly corrupt person.
So I was listening to this interview today they were setting the order for the fraud czar. JD Vance is going to be the fraud czar. And I got to be honest with you, like, I'm listening to Donald Trump say some of the words that he said. And I couldn't help but think if the Lakewood people that I have been going after, if they had looked like this, do you think we'd be investigating Lakewood? I'm going to show you again. Do you think we would be investigating Lakewood if they looked like that? If you had Somali Jews, can we go after that particular group then for some of the fraud? How about we look about how much money goes out of the Newark airport? How about we look at how much money left out of the Atlantic City airport? Probably none. It's probably more like Newark or JFK. Why does it always go to Somalians? And then you heard him say this, and this is the thing that I feel like I'm lied to about this guy, because when you say something like, oh, Somalians vote in a block, they vote in a block, and that's such a horrible thing. It's such a horrible thing. We cannot possibly have people voting in a block. But what does Trump go and do? When he was elected, he posted this. The Orthodox Jewish communities across America voted very big numbers for me in our historic election. The biggest numbers came out of Lakewood, New Jersey, one of the biggest wins, where more than 90% of the vote came out for me. So, you know, when I know that he was pushing the block vote for one group of people and then goes and singles out another group of people for a block vote, contradicting what he wanted for himself, and he's only going to investigate it when it's not involved with him. 90% of a group of people voted for you, Donald Trump. Do you find that to be a problem as well? Because I'll tell you when I found it to be a problem. I found it to be a very big problem when the majority of blacks, 97% and 94%, voted for Obama. Hey, Patterson, you were there. You know that. Back me up in the chat. I was really pissed off when I witnessed that. I called it racist. You're only voting for him because he's black. And I had a problem when that happened to Biden. You have these block votes. I certainly have a problem with it when it's in the Muslims voting 100% one way for Mom Dami, or the Muslims, the Somalians out in Minnesota, or the ultra Orthodox in Lakewood. The black voting is a very big problem because it is a farce of a democracy. That block voting is exactly why our founders gave us a republic, because that's literally the definition of mob rule. When you block vote like that, you are in mob rule, and you get your mob to vote only your way and only in the favor of your community, not in the overall community that you live around, only in yours. I don't care which religion it comes from. I don't care what side it comes from. Are we going to go after them, or are we only going after the Somalis? Or are we fake going after the Somalis? Because that's really the bigger question. Coach Patterson says, yep, it's only a problem when certain people do it. Yeah, and if you had Somali Jews, we'd be talking a whole different story about Lakewood, New Jersey right now. And it's just the truth. So you know what, man? You know, I'm listening to him, and I'm listening to bash the Somalians voting in a block while praising the other group that voted for him for voting in a block. And he did, look, this is them. This is the Lakewood Facebook page, right? Let's just keep going. This is the Jerusalem Post. I need all my supporters of the Orthodox community of Lakewood and surrounding towns to vote in huge numbers for Jack Ciattarelli. He celebrated that they voted over 90% for Jack Ciattarelli. He celebrated that all of the Jewish leaders in Ocean County in our area got together and said, we're all voting for Jack. He celebrated it. So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the fucking gander. Stop talking about one group of people because you're making yourself look racist. And I've been calling you not racist for a really long time. I've been defending that. Why are you giving the left the talking points? I want to argue from strong positions. I don't want to argue your side from a weak-ass position. That's what you're forcing me into do. Mama Duke says, Lakewood has his own story. They legally rip us off. Thank you, government. Let me tell you something. The reason why everyone's not ripped off at Somalia is because they play the same hand. Would everyone get this shit out of their mind? The Muslims and the extreme Muslims and the extreme Jews are the exact same. You want me to differentiate? Okay, you have radicalized Muslims, and then you have all the other Muslims. You have radicalized Jews, and you have all the other Jews. There's a main difference in it. They follow it the same way. One is more has a bigger propensity for outrageous violence, and one doesn't covertly. But overall, the religions, when you get to the radicalized people, are exactly the same. They're not any different. I don't care what anybody says on the subject. Six of Zion says, Miami is turning on the people that got him in. Like that wasn't expected. What do people vote for like that? Yes, he's turning on them. And they again, so I was celebrating with Imam Dami, Six of Zions. I was celebrating for that because I knew he was going to be, he was over-promising when he was running, and he was going to under-deliver. And it was going to make socialism look ridiculous, like a failure, like it's been everywhere else it's ever been tried. But what you have here is you have both sides that are doing this to themselves. I was hoping what Mamdani was going to do was going to help New York switch back to some sanity. Because when he doesn't deliver on the free kitchens, the free grocery stores, when he doesn't deliver on the free buses, when he doesn't deliver on higher taxes for the billionaires, when his tax base leaves and they're in a worse position, everyone's going to realize that was a failed experiment in America. I wanted him to overpromise and underdeliver. I was hoping Trump didn't. But he did. Let's see. They don't believe the Somalians are smart, so when they work the system the same way, they are baffled. Yes, you're 100%, Coach Patterson. They think Somalians are dumb. We had Adam Dorito on, Captain Dorito. He's running for Congress. If you live in Colorado and you watch this show, you better vote him in, because I'm going to tell you something. He is actually a dude that's been fighting for legit stuff for a very long time. But he said it. He goes, bro, everything's an angle to these people. They're scammers. That's how they live their life. That's how they survive. And you're going to tell me that you put a situation in place where they could scam millions and millions and millions and they're not going to do it? When they scam Americans over there for $20? You think you're not going to scam Americans for billions? Fuck out of here. It's unbelievable that we think so ridiculous of ourselves. Let's see. Do we have any more with Trump? There you go. I love this one coming out of Trump too.
We took the worst country in 50 years and maybe longer from the ideological standpoint, a country that wanted to blow up the world, a country that is sick, and it has a religious fervor. And when you add religion, you know, people don't realize more people died in religious wars than every other war put together. And that's what you would have had here. And it was a terrible thing. I'm very proud.
More people have died in religion than anything else. And it's continuing. And I got news for you, Trump. This war is about religion. It's about nothing more than religion. And if everyone thinks it's going to stop with Iran, if you guys think that this is not going to shoot over to Turkey next, and you guys don't think that the bombing that's going on currently right now in Libya, if you don't realize, way more bombing is happening in all of the areas. It's not just Iran. If you think this is stopping, if you think this isn't going to be a larger conflict that's going to be going on in pieces for the next 20 years, I think everybody is absolutely sorely mistaken on it. Let's get to a different topic. Let's get the last comments on that. I do believe religion has been the excuse for war forever now. Of course it is. And we're going to have one here pretty soon. I wonder what we're talking about. People like Omar are teaching them. Yeah, listen, man, we've led, again, how many terrorists have come in during the Biden years with open borders? We don't know. Do we want to go back to that? Is this what we're trying to do? Because the first day a Democrat gets in office, they are signing 500 executive orders, and they are going to erase Trump from our memory. The border is going to be wide the fuck open. If he doesn't completely solve Iran before November, that Iran conflict is going to be a problem for how long? Then what happens? Do we now do you have a liberal get in office and say, hey, we're going to start paying to build Iran? Who's going to pay to rebuild Israel? Is that going to fall on us too? Because I bet that does. They're getting hit with missiles left and right. I don't care what anybody says. Who's rebuilding Iran? Who's rebuilding Israel? You don't think that's coming out of us? Guys, I got news for you. We still give Afghanistan $2 billion a year. We still give Iraq like $500 million a year. That's $2.5 billion that we're giving to the Taliban and we're giving to Iran or Iraq. Why? Why? After we gave them how many weapons, how much money over there? Everyone says, oh, they were old weapons anyway. I don't give a shit. We bought them. It's our money. How many trillions did we spend over there? Did it get us anything? It's gotten us nothing, guys. We're not safer. And sleeper cells are here. Yes, Mama Dukes, they are here. They are 100% here. And when they lose the election in a couple weeks or a couple months, we're going to have more and more and more and more here. And then guess what we're going to have? You know a false flag is coming. You know an attack is going to be orchestrated on the people so we can do a ground war. You guys realize that, right? I don't, my Caltrop brain is going again, but I could see a Iran sleeper cell attack strike a major target in America, and it's going to give us all the ammunition we need to have a full-on ground excursion into Iran. And are you going to sit there and tell me that this is beyond the realm of possibility? I don't think so. But let's get on less comments on YouTube here. The Pentagon has requested more than $200 billion from Congress to fund the ongoing war in Iran. Jack Burton, exactly. $200 billion. Now, how long does that $200 billion last? Apparently, we're spending $1 billion to $2 billion a day. So that's telling you that we need 200 days of war, 200 more days of war. So everyone's saying that this small increase and small tick up in diesel is going to be quick. Nothing they're doing is saying that this is going to be quick. Bought and paid for by AIPAC, Totally Random says, and Jewish donors strong to Israel. 100% bought and paid for by AIPAC. Yeah, Kent went on record saying something needed to be done about Iran. There's a video of this. In every administration, you have people in positions. Yeah, so here's the difference, Jimmy. I read that and I saw that, and everyone's trying to call him a flip-flopper. Well, situations change on the ground. Joe, he also alluded to in the Tucker Carlson interview that that I heard that was going to be coming out. I haven't watched totally, but you hear the rumors that situations on the ground change. When we bombed Iran, he thought that took care of the nuke problem. They were not an imminent nuclear threat to us. That's what he was saying. I don't think anybody could prove that they were an imminent nuclear threat to us or anybody in that region. You cannot prove it. Sorry, that's just fact. Let's see. Richie says you could have Kamala. So Richie, let's see. You want to go through that, Rich? Okay. So if Kamala was in office, let's play a game. If Kamala was in office and right now we were bombing Iran, right now we had I had diesel prices at $5.20 a gallon. Right now we had a split Congress that wasn't getting anything done. If Kamala was here, we'd have all this going on. Do you guys expect me to sit here and defend Kamala Harris if that was the case? Put Kamala Harris in Donald Trump's seat right now. How do you act? How do I act at the exact same circumstances that we're facing today? If Kamala Harris is in that seat and this is happening, I am lambasting her. Every MAGA person right now is lambasting her. We're not celebrating the war. We're not talking about a nuclear Iran. We're talking about how they're no threat to America and that how she's dragging us into another Middle East war. You know this is fact. You know this is true. If it was Kamala in office right now, I'd be saying the exact same shit I'm saying for Trump right now. Or can you say the same, everybody out there? Because I have a feeling that many of you would flip-flop depending on what side is actually pulling the war buttons. I don't mean to call a lot of you guys out like this, but I have to do it. Because we cannot support this stupid shit. This is why the country flip-flops back and forth from left to right, like a drunken 14-year-old driving a fucking car to school. Listen to music, just swaying back and forth. This is why we are so schizophrenic to the world. Because the people will flip-flop their beliefs, their hardcore beliefs, because they believe in somebody. Even when he goes against your main beliefs and why you believed in him in the first place. If this was Kamala, this would be the exact same show, guys. It'd be the exact same show if this was Kamala, and you know it. Deep down, every single one of you guys that have watched me for a really long time know that I would be doing the same exact show here right now. Teresa says, this didn't happen in the vacuum. There's a long chain of events. Decades of U.S. and Iran hostility since 1979. No, Teresa, you cannot start this in 1979. You have to start this way back when we even put Iran on the map, when Britain put them on the map, when we orchestrated a coup in their country. This goes back way past 1979. We have been meddling in Iran for years, and we wonder why they attacked us for years. Again, you know, everyone cheers when I look at the Jewish population. I'd say, why is everybody not like you forever? What's the reason? There has to be a reason. There has to be a why. Why are we being attacked? Why did the guy go into Michigan and do his thing? Why are these things taking place? I just did a show on it. The why has to apply for America as well. Because I got to tell you something. I'm asking all these different groups to have some introspect and understand why you get in the problems that you get into. Can we do the same thing for America? Can we say that we have meddled enough in enough countries? Can we say that we haven't fucked with enough of people in the world? That's why so many people across the world hate us? Can we say that we are totally innocent in Iran because we've been fucking around in that country for the last 70 years? As a country, we did this. This did not just start in 1979 when they decided to start attacking us. It did not. This stuff is because of our actions for years and years and years. And if Americans don't stop to think about why do people hate us as a whole, because I got news for you. Americans, every one of you, you are judged around the world by the failure and the disgusting nature of your leaders. And everyone sits back and says, oh, you can't judge me just because I'm an American like that. I can. And every group of people does. And when I go after the Somalians, you have good Somalians saying, oh, you can't judge me based on them. Bullshit. They get your own people in line. And I look at the Jews. The Jews say, oh, please don't lump me in with those Jews. Bullshit. Get your own people in line. Americans, this is me waking you the fuck up. Cannot support this garbage because you're going to get more of it. You cannot blindly defend this garbage because you're going to get more of it. If we don't call ourselves out, if we don't speak the truth about what we are, then you're never going to admit you have a problem. And then if you don't admit you have a problem, you're never going to really address what the actual problem is. Then you're never going to be able to find a solution to that problem. And I'm sorry, guys, but I'm about solutions. And many of you think that you know, Iran is solving some great issue with us. I don't think it's true. I just don't think it's true. You know, we're at 9 o'clock. Do I want to even get into Markwayne Mullin? I talked about this the entire trip, the entire shot. I talked about this. Oh, we have a new. We had a new. I have a new troll online. He made some awesome pictures. Check this out. This is Rabbi Mike. You gotta love it, dude. They put the. I've always wanted one of these hats. I've always wanted one of these hats. Rabbi Mike, if there's anybody out there, people in my Jewish community, I know they're $10,000. Richie, donate one to me, bro. I need me one of those big old hats. And then I was also called an Iran lover. So this is Caltrop, apparently. Hey, dude, I like this. It looks like I'm going to a soccer match, right, dude? I look pretty good in Iranian. I do, and I kind of look ethnic. You know what's interesting? Put me right now. I look white. Put me in some Iranian clothes, and I'm straight up Middle Eastern. You know what I'm saying? I could be Spanish. Over the summertime, I could be almost black. I'm like Dominican black. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like kind of dark, but not dark, but you're kind of black, but not black, really. But I look good in Iranian, don't I? I look good. And that's really my fist. That's really, I mean, look at that. That's fucking dead on balls accurate. I got to tell you, AI, you're doing a really good job. And you know what? You gave me the same amount of fingers. Apparently you didn't do that for Netanyahu. You didn't do it for him, man. What are you going to do? But hey, listen, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys here. Let's get to the last couple of chats, right? We have Jeannie Colette's laughing. What is your YouTube? I'd like to support. Oh, I love it. Hey, YouTube is Center Cut Media at my YouTube channel. Center Cut Media on YouTube and Rumble. Also, if you guys would like to support me and you do have Zelle, I would love it if you guys can hook a brother up. We had a big donation, man. Suzanne hooked me up with $25. Guys, listen, if I could do $25 a show, I'd be phenomenal. If you could use my email address for that, mikec@centercutmedia.com. If you need my phone number, last four are 2418. But thank you very much, Suzanne. Suzanne actually did it. She sent me $5 and said, yo, did that come to you? I was like, it definitely came to me. Thank you, Suzanne. And then she backed that up with another 20. It was like I got a tip and then I got another tip. So if you guys want to do that, give me $1 just to give me a taste and then fire that in for another 20. You know, that would be really nice. I appreciate all your support, guys. If you didn't know, I am trying to do this a little bit more. I want to be a pest in a lot of people's sides. I want to be a pest in both sides as far as government goes. I want to be a pest in way more local government. I want to expand this so I could be a pest in Trenton. I want to be a pest in Washington. You know what? We need people that are going to ask real questions. And not only that, we need people that are going to challenge our own beliefs. I have to challenge myself not to get suckered into believing false things. I have to. And we have to challenge ourselves not to just be blind defenders for certain things, but really look at things from two different sides. You know, and I like it. If Kamala was president, would you guys be supporting it the same way you would be supporting it now? I have an interesting feeling that we wouldn't do it. But that's everybody, man. Big chat tonight. Really appreciate you guys. 911 was an inside job. It was an inside job. You're not, don't even get me going with that, Jenna. Don't even get me going with that, Jenna. I love it. You're 100% right. Mariah, let's get to one more question. Do you think it could be because Trump assumes Lakewood residents are all citizens and the Somalis aren't? No. I think it's because none of those people support him. That's his opposition. Okay. So what you have to understand is the Somalis are the Democrats' ring of laundering money and cycling money and all that stuff. What the difference between Lakewood people do is they funneled a lot of money to Donald Trump. Yes, that's 100% accurate, but they also fund both sides of the politicians all over the state. So, I don't think that's coming from the Somalians. They seem to be entrenched in the Democrat Party, where the other one kind of goes both ways. That's why they don't get fucked with. That's why you have these type of videos. Let me see if I still have this here, and I'll do one more. I didn't leave it in. No, I definitely didn't leave it in. This is where you had the Jewish guy, you had Hakeem Jeffries, and you had Senator Johnson, where he was like, I don't care about their politics. I love both of these guys. Why? Because he's funding both of them, and both of them do their bidding. That's why nobody touches that topic, including Trump. That's the reason why it's happening. And that's just the bottom line. Coach Patterson says, great show. You can steal the money as long as you're in their party. Yes. You could steal whatever you want as long as some of the things you're stealing are going to fund those politicians. Then they will never, ever, ever have a problem with it. That's the bottom line. Period. End of story. End of discussion. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Really, seriously. Love you, everybody. We are growing. If you didn't know this, locally, we have a movement that is winning. We have people that are paying attention to this story. If you guys didn't know, there's videos of Tyler's that got billions of views. There are clips out there that got billions of views. This is worldwide. Our local story, Ocean County, for everybody Ocean County that are watching us, our local story made it somewhere. And I'm here to tell you, bro, I am not one of these people that are getting sucked up by the swamp. I don't need their money. I was never a part of it. I never need to be a part of it. I'm in sweatpants right now. That's if you run into me in public, I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt. I don't need it. So I'm going to tell you something. We are going to continue to go at these people. And we need a Caltrop army. We need way more people that are like-minded, that are willing to say enough is enough. And I'm telling you, stop putting your hopes in this national stuff and start putting your focus locally. Because that's where you're going to be able to make a difference. You can make a difference. Do not lose hope. Do not lose the thought that you still have power because you have people like Trump or you have these people like Mondami that are breaking your heart left and right. Understand that it's not them, the other side that's against us. Understand that you do have hard Orthodox Jews and non-Jews that they could get together. You do have a situation where the left and the right can unite. We need more of that. Put your hope in the fact that we are all, when you take these positions, we are all right here. We are not here and here like they want to make us seem, or here and here. We're not polar opposites. Put your faith in the fact that we are all, for the most part, right in the same lane. Realize it, exploit it, and start figuring out how we can create a group of people that are willing to put the left-right garbage aside for what's good for us. And what's good for us is not electing the same old guy that's going to be paid off by the same old people. And I say it all the time. You have actors. You have actors on the left, you have actors on the right, and they're paid to act by the same director and the same executive producer. We have to be caltrops. And sometimes being a caltrop is confronting yourself. It's confronting your own belief. It's confronting your own belief structure. And listen, I'm always going to be here to do it for you guys, and I'm always going to be here to talk to you. And you're not always going to like what I say. And some of you may leave because of it. I don't want you to, because I really want to go through this with you. But if I can't look at you guys and be honest, and I have to come here and I have to just put on a show for what you may want to hear from me, it's not going to be authentic, and that's not who I am. I'm going to be authentic to you, and I'm going to tell you what I really think. And I think our relationship is going to thrive, and it's going to be built on that type of trust where, you know, if it's my side, if my side is doing wrong, I'm going to call it out. That's what Caltrops do. We call out our own sides. Thank you guys for being with me, man. Honestly, you know how it goes. Finger blast my like button. Finger blast it. It loves it. It's a Wednesday. It needs to be woken up. Wake up my like button with your finger. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that share button. You do me. That is every one of you guys, you ask me how you can help me. Every one of you ask me how you can help me. The way you help me the most is by getting my face out there more. By sharing my content. It is free. Subscribe, obviously. Hit the notification bell on all these pages, Center Cut Media or my Mike Caldery's page, and stick with us. And most importantly, send me your emails, send me your chats, send me your information, send me your concerns, send me your love, send me your prayers, send me your best wishes, and send me your best insults, because I fucking love them. Thank you very much, guys. This Caltrop is out. Later.